Welcome, friends.
Hello, everyone. We're glad you could join us once again on August Day.
Oh my goodness, happy August.
Yes, that's for sure. And I hope that you're all enjoying the pretty flowers out there blooming right now. Surprise lilies, for one.
Yes, those pink, beautiful, fragrant flowers
Oh,
that I
very
just,
fragrant.
they come up as green in the spring and then they disappear and you think, oh, they're gone. And then boom, surprise.
That's why they're called naked ladies. They have no leaves on them when
Yep.
they do
When
come
they
up and
bloom,
bloom.
yeah.
Or the resurrection lily, they're called also.
Oh.
So I hope everybody has a bulb that's blooming in their yard
They're
now.
very beautiful old-fashioned
They
flowers.
are very old-fashioned. That's
They
true.
smell so good.
And there's a few things blooming along the roadsides right now too. The chicory,
Yeah.
the black-eyed Susans have just started. There's ironweed blooming,
Yes.
and the lead plant. So all those are
Oh,
blooming
yeah.
right now.
They're so pretty.
Yes, and I did collect the last few heads, I think, of the Queen Anne's lace because they're just about gone now
They are.
for this season. And I made the rest of my note cards.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll have them into the shop this weekend.
That'll be
So
wonderful.
it was fun to do those, as it always is. Pressing the flowers. We give them a little bit longer life than what they really have out there.
making something beautiful out
Yes.
of something that grows, and we love doing that.
That's right. And it is time to read the August chapter.
Yep. Beginning of August, time to read your Gatherings from the Good Earth book every
Yes.
year.
Every year, because the words never change, but the reader does.
We do.
So we changed, and so we see things in a little different light when we read it once again.
Yeah.
And it shows us some more about the awareness of what is around us.
Yeah, it really does keep us aware of what's going on around us and very much about living intentionally.
Yes, and so as I come up through my pathway up to the shop today to meet with you to do the video, I notice all of the hedge apples are falling off the tree. Maybe not all of them. They're very big. They're as big as a grapefruit.
I wonder if it's because of all the rain that we've had.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so too. Now, I don't know if they're just maybe thinning the tree a little bit but they'll probably continue to drop now for the next month, 6 weeks for
Yeah,
sure.
towards fall, right?
So this is what one looked like today, and I mean it is as big as I said, a grapefruit.
Huge.
I was going to put 3 in this bowl.
They
Guess
won't
what?
fit.
1, and I loved it because it had the little leaf on it yet too. It just is a pretty thing. And I used to think, well, now, what are their purpose in life? We all have to have a purpose, do we not?
to make more trees.
I think that's mainly it. There is an old a folk myth, you might say, or a wives' tale that says that you can cut these up and put them around the old cellar, and it'll keep the spiders and bugs away. Well, they say it is really just a myth. It's truly what it is. It doesn't really work.
And I remember the year that we did try to slice it just for decoration. We were going to dehydrate the slices, and we totally ruined an electric knife that we had.
And it smelled terribly.
It was not
But I would think it'd be wonderful. The decorators, the designers, they love to use this color in a living room, especially the color of a Granny Smith apple.
Yeah.
And that is a little pop of color that's just a decorator's delight.
That lime or chartreuse green.
Truly. And so, from this time on, I like to have a hedge apple in my house just to admire it. I love its pebbly surface, the texture of it. I like so much about it.
Yeah,
even though it's not that interesting.
They get in the way,
otherwise.
and I have to throw them out of the way of the golf cart.
Yes, I think I look at it probably with an artist's eye. So
Yeah, they
it's
are
just
beautiful.
just gorgeous by itself.
They do rot quickly though.
They do, and the wood is interesting because the wood is very hard, and they used it for fence posts for pastures and such. And it was also called the wood that tamed the West, or they made fence posts out of it. So it tamed the West. It kept things in and things out,
Right. Yeah.
which was
For
good.
their cattle and livestock and
Yes.
such. Yeah.
This is a pine needle basket I'm working on, and this has an Osage orange. That's the tree that the hedge apples come from. And so it has a slice of the wood as the base. And it is a very pretty wood. It has a wee bit of an orange tint to it, but I just love it. And so I think that's one of its purposes possibly then, is to be pretty in a bowl, or to
Provide a very hard wood. That's absolutely gorgeous.
For some projects, yes.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
wonderful.
But that was pretty as I came through the woods. I thought, here they are. Here those little hedge apples are. Or
Just don't get under a
horse
tree.
apples.
You would never want one to fall on your
I
head.
have.
Those things
That
are
has happened.
solid.
It fell in the middle of my back, and you do notice it when it happens.
Man, that
They
would bruise
are
you.
big.
Yeah.
They are so big.
They're
and huge.
heavy. Yeah.
They are so.
Very dense.
Yes. So anyway, if you're out in the country and you see those laying around the ground, you'll know that's exactly what they are. We who grew up in the country, we know them well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so, what else is going on this
Well,
week?
the elderberries are ready. If
They
you haven't
are.
gathered them already, they are ready, and they won't be. If you haven't covered them, they won't be there very long because the birds have eaten most of ours. We didn't get ours covered this year as we
We've got a couple patches of
normally
work.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
but yeah, so that and there's a summer surge of COVID right now. So elderberry is, one of the things that we definitely take during those surges and all fall and winter as well. And we carry, of course, the elderberry concentrate at the shop, and we generally make our own, and you can make your own too from fresh or dried elderberries. We have a YouTube video on making the very best elderberry syrup. I'll link that in the comments below if you're interested in that. And you can use either fresh or dried elderberries for making your own, or you can it's easy to buy too. And the
Pop
one
in.
that's
Pop in and pick them up.
yeah, exactly. And
Pick it
yeah,
up.
and we have dried elderberries on the shelf too. So if you wanted to do that, you want to make sure that you always, though, cook your elderberries. Elderberries contain a glycoside that converts into cyanide in the human body. And so cooking helps to deactivate those glycosides. You want to cook them at least 30 minutes to deactivate those glycosides to make, the berries. A lot of foods have anti-nutrients, and glycosides would be one of those anti-nutrients, and you definitely want to have your elderberries bioavailable. Cooking helps to make them more bioavailable, and it eliminates that risk of those glycosides converting into cyanide. And so the ones that we carry here on the shelf, the elderberry concentrate, is made locally. It's absolutely wonderful, and it's an easy way to go ahead and get your elderberry syrup in and help protect our bodies. It's been shown to be a really wonderfully beneficial against viruses and things of that nature. I know we've mentioned this before, but in France it was referred to actually as the house pharmacy. And the berries, in addition to being antiviral, have an affinity for the lungs, the liver, and the immune system. And so we love using it for all of those things. And herbalists everywhere throughout the ages have used elderberries for all of those things. And not just herbalists, back in the day, all of our great-great-grandparents, if they had elderberry growing near them, and a lot of them did in a lot of different places, it's kind of a global plant almost. They knew about elderberry, I'm sure. It's great whenever you feel run down, for seasonal allergies, respiratory ailments, and to help stimulate the immune system. So we love our elderberry, and we're taking it right now because of the
Yes, we are.
risk of COVID again right now.
Normally, I wait just to take it during the winter months. But,
October, a lot of times when we start.
Yes, it is. To prepare my body to be aware of what's going on out there and to have a frontline defense for it. But right now, it's important, I think, that we'll be taking it
Yeah.
right along.
Yeah, and we
this-
do have an elderberry syrup kit that we've made up. So it's everything pretty much that you need is in the bag, and that makes it super easy
Yes,
too.
and if you want to learn a little bit more about elderberries, it's also a chapter in my book.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I wrote a little essay in there of all about elderberries and using them and so on.
One of the days that we love celebrating is the first Sunday of every August, and that is National Friendship Day. It's a great opportunity for us to remember our friends, to acknowledge our friends, and to talk about friendship.
Friendship is very important, I do believe, and even the older we get, I think it's even more important. I know during the productive times of one's life, when you have jobs and you're raising children, it's kind of hard to get together with friends and do the things you really want to do because there's so many things you have to do.
True.
But cultivating friendships is a lost art almost, I'm thinking. It takes time to do, and we have to put the effort into it or we won't have the friendships, I do
Right.
believe. And
That's for sure.
whether that's just writing an email to each other or touching base with each other in some way, a phone call, or getting together once a month, whatever you can do, that helps to cultivate it. And it's good to have history. I think if you have the history or herstory as we call it through the years, that's wonderful. My friend Judy and I have been friends for 65 years, and that is a long, long time. and it's wonderful. We really value that friendship. We went to church school together, we went to high school together, and so on. And we do cultivate that friendship. We stay in touch, and when we do get together or when we do talk to each other, it's like right where we left off. And so we have a long history. Most of us do not have that. When I moved here, I did not have that with friends. I had no friends. And
make
so
new friends.
it was important to make new friends.
Yeah.
And I think it does get harder as we get older to make those new friends. We have to get out on a limb
Yeah.
to do that, to meet people and to talk to people. And they say that it helps us with our longevity to have the friendships. And I know that's one reason I started the stitching group or the sewing circle, is so that we could have a time to get together. And we do share with each other, and we laugh and maybe even shed a few tears here and there. But it is a part of being friends.
Yeah.
And it's something that we all make sure every month to get together, so we touch base with our friends.
I think having that regular set time is a really nice way because, as you said, we have to make the effort and make the time. And if we have a set date to meet with our friends, then it happens. And if we don't, a lot of times it doesn't happen.
No.
And even years can go by without, I intended to reach out. The road, what do they say? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Oh my goodness. And I know that so well because there are friends that I've intended, I meant to, and I regret that. I wish that I had.
We get busy.
We do get
and
busy.
we are busy.
Yeah.
People are all busy in the world today. And I think with social media, everybody thinks that quick text will do it.
Right.
And that doesn't always do it. It does keep us connected a little bit, but not heart to heart, eye to eye.
Right.
And
I think that's so important. We are really very much hardwired creatures of community. We have, I think, a really deep need for belonging, and I think that social media can sometimes give us a false sense of belonging. We're not actually, like you said, having that real, very real connection with another person. And I think that's so very important. And I think, when you talk about, cultivating new friendships, that reaching out. I had a friend that I'm walking with now every Wednesday morning, and we didn't know each other that well before she called me up and said, "Hey, Tamara, would you like to walk once a week?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you for asking." A lot of people just don't ask because they think I'm super busy, and I am super busy, and I love having that time to go outside and walk and connect with a new friend.
And doing it early in the morning, it's something you can get by doing.
Exactly. I could
And
work
that
that into
works.
my schedule. So I think it's important I think it's important that if there's someone that you are drawn to, and I think it's very important that we have friendships, that they are people who lift us up.
And have something in common with.
And have something in common with. That's right. And I think if you feel drawn to somebody, reach out and make that first step. I'll never forget my friend Nancy. We didn't know each other that well. We were just kind of acquaintances. We had a friend in common. And one day on my birthday, she showed up at my front door with this amazing, she loves to bake. She said, "I need any excuse to bake." And she brought this amazing double-decker, looked like from a bakery, chocolate cake that she had made for my birthday. I was just blown away. And that was the beginning of our friendship. And I'll never forget that. It was a really good lesson to me that you don't have to wait until you're good friends to do something wonderful for someone. It makes an impact. If there's someone that you admire and you want to have a relationship with them, want to be friends with them, just do something wonderful for them, or at least reach out and say, "Hey, I'd like to get to know you better. What about coffee this week?" or whatever. I think that's super important.
And statistics say that we have 1 to 3 friends that are what we call very close heart-to-heart friends. And the rest of the friends will be casual friends, but we'll have a lot of those. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yes, hopefully. And so that's what we want to strive for. I hope you all have a wonderful friendship circle going about, and that you'll have someone that you can reach out to when times are tough and so on. Comment below and tell us what your long-term friendship is like, maybe, or how long you've had this friendship with one special person. I think that just gives us all a lot of it's an uplift.
Yeah, or ideas for cultivating friendships.
Yes, even that.
I love, I don't know how many of you know Tokopah Turner. I followed her for years and years, and she's got a wonderful book called Belonging. And one of the things that she says is that at the very heart of belonging is the word long. To belong to something is to stay with it for the long haul. She says it's an active choice we make to a relationship, to a place, to our body, to a life, because we value it. Even knowing that it may not be all that we hope it to be, we are keeping the long view of what's possible, and our life becomes an offering to making it so. I love her words, her way with words. She also says we live in one of the most connected times on earth, but we never before have been so lonely.
So disconnected.
Yeah, so alienated from each other, from ourselves, and from the natural world. And she says whether this manifests as having difficulty finding community, feeling anxiety about your worthiness and place in the world, or simply feeling disconnected, the absence of belonging is the great silent wound of our times. I think that's so powerful. She says many of us think of belonging as a place outside of ourselves, that if we keep searching for it, maybe one day we'll find it. But, she says, what if belonging isn't a place at all, but a set of skills or competencies that we in modern times have lost or forgotten? So I think that fits right in with what we're talking about, that we can make it happen. We just need to take those steps to move forward.
We do. And I think when friendships are maybe at a distance, since I moved away, we just have to be sure that we contact each other every week and stay in touch with those people too.
Yeah.
And whether people are far away or close at hand, stay connected.
Yeah, reach out, stay in touch,
Yes.
reconnect, make time to connect, and I think also be an uplifting force ourselves
Yes.
in the lives of others, because that helps to draw people to you naturally, I think, too.
Be positive. There's enough negativity going on in this world anyway,
sure.
so be positive.
Yeah, that's
a
right.
good one.
Uplifting.
Yes,
That's we want to
yes.
be with people who are uplifting.
Yes. One of the things I'd like to share with you is I thought I'd shared it with you maybe before, but we looked back and I guess we didn't find it anyway. And that is on friendship, as we've been talking about. This is a mini version of an antique quilt block. It is a quilt block that has been around for a long, long time. And the reason it's called the Friendship Star is this middle square is plain. And this is where you would put your name, embroider your name, or put it in ink, whatever. You could put a date in there if you wanted to. And then you would pass it along to a friend. Or it would be put into a quilt that would be made for someone maybe getting married or moving away. So this little star also has French knots around it. And the French knots in here I put in to signify the friendships that have gone by the wayside, or the friends I'm still going to meet along the way. And that's what those little dots are for.
I love that.
And so, underneath, I dedicated this to all the friends I've been lucky enough to meet along the way, which has been a lot. There's been a lot of them, and I'm thankful for every one of them. So this is called the Friendship Star, and it might be a star that you want to make for someone too, or for yourself. You could put a lot of names on it if you wanted to.
I love that friendship block. That's absolutely beautiful. I was thinking too, another great way to make new friends is by taking classes and joining community groups. And we are having some new classes at the shop. We have had some wonderful basket making classes recently where and we've had people take them as mother-daughter and as friends together and just by themselves and meeting new friends in the class. And so you can watch our newsletter. We'll be having our August newsletter emailed out soon. So watch your email for that. The shop is open this weekend too. We always love to see you and make a connection with you too. So feel free to stop out. We're open this Friday and Saturday.
Great. And I would like to close with a little quote here. It's one of my very, very favorites. And since today we talked about making friends, surprise lilies, hedge apples, elderberry, just a little bit of everything. This kind of says it all. It's Laura Ingalls Wilder. It is the sweet, simple things of life, which are the real ones after all. And so with that, we will plan to see you next week.
Good earth blessings to you.